Sure people to the front.
What? Ladies in the back.
Sure people to the front. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Brothers and sisters, I want to see your hands out there. Let me see your hands. I want everybody to kick up some noise. I want to hear some revolution out there, brothers. I want to hear a little revolution. Brothers and sisters, the time has come for each and every one of you to decide whether you are going to be the problem or whether you are going to be the solution. You must choose, brothers, you must choose. It takes 5 seconds. 5 seconds of decision. 5 seconds to realize your purpose here on the planet. It takes 5 seconds to realize that it's time to move. It's time to get down with it. Brothers, it's time to testify, and I want to know, are you ready to testify? Are you ready?
I'm so glad to have you all here. I'm so excited to hear your voting polls. We're starting the next round. So again, this competition is all about voting. We started it to increase youth voters' turnout in elections. So I want to make sure you guys are all registered.
I want to make this feel like it's MetLife Stadium right now. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep the energy up tonight. So like we said before, I want to give a special thanks to the Campaign Finance Board of Hot 97 for being there. Please give them a round of applause. And we're not gonna waste too much time. We're gonna get it going because I know there's a lot of heat in the crowd tonight.
Hi guys.
Yeah, what up, guys?
Box 1. Corporate greed has a face, a name, and most likely 2 kids whose bedtime stories are of how Daddy fought for their freedom, only they're too young to know Daddy was a coward who turned fighting into massacres, and even though the war is over, his battle front has changed. The Middle East now looks a lot like Wall Street, where guns are replaced by bonuses made from welfare checks and Medicaid budgets turned a little too short, Fox 2. The city of Gotham is in trouble, and who better to save it than Batman? Only behind the mask is a little more like Harvey Dent, who isn't too happy with raising rent for the poor while they lower taxes for the rich. Oh, doesn't it just make you sick? He'll fame Captain America while he shoves a poster for hope in your face as if he calls the shots. But what these two fail to mention is the power of ballots to bullets, and if used correctly, bullets come up a little bit too short. Between a ballad and a dream, Spanish Harlem has been forgotten. If ever you're walking down the block, be sure to taste the neglect. And the coquito ices bought after school and playgrounds too unfit for even the ants, be sure to feel the rejection. On corners where a well awaits for delivery of medicine Medicare can no longer afford, be sure to hear the fury. In textbooks too old to see just how far the world has come.
Time races and you sit thinking about how messed up your life is. Don't you dare let that poor Dominican woman with no GED who raised you, who loved you, see you fail. Every sense you have a heart of a lion, so roar, Jason, roar as loud as you can. But don't tell me that you're giving up. We made it past the ghetto and refused to let ourselves get sucked into that destiny. We gotta show people that we do matter to society. Man, why should I vote? Why should I get involved with people who don't care about me? All they say is, we need change. But what change can they bring? We still live in a society where sagging and do-rags make a man. So when somebody comes in very professional, they're ridiculed for being not ghetto? I don't get it. What can my vote do? It's just one vote. A vote that the government uses for popularity and money. It gives them nothing but praise. So why should I benefit something I don't believe in? Tell me. Just one vote changes a lot more than you think. Just one point changes a tiebreaker. Just one opportunity changes one's life. Just one black man said, yes, we can, and we did. So when you say just one, I believe the only one. Hey, I heard you, and you're right. maybe if I stop blaming and start changing, maybe I may affect a younger generation, and they may not suffer from the devil that is ignorance.
Her eyes wanted to see what was on her mind. Rolled back like hair that slept with sponge rollers last night. Body shook from ultimate chill. Snowstorms blocked roads, ending transportation between Collarbone Avenue and Ribcage Boulevard, right in the center of Hart Square. Ode to the ashes of democracy. You ought to be distinct, captured by shadows, no bright lights. Intelligence isn't a trait of your possession. Listen to the voices of the donkey. Speech, priceless. Even you can afford that. Allow words to work like winds that form through the meeting of your lashes. Beauty in eyes that sparkle black. Blacker than a Democrat's skin, so black it's pretty. That nightstand is my back. That cable is yours, but labor isn't acknowledged. The morphing until a slug doesn't stick enough for elephants. Their noses are internally slit. So, happy is becoming really uncool. Disaster is in demand. And whoever in this room has got the worst story is winning. Being damaged has become desirable, and playing victim is the new strong. People are wishing themselves into shadows. For what? To get lost in the dark? To become transparent in the daytime so people notice you. Yeah, that makes sense. To be happy, but not too happy. There are hardly enough smiles to go around anymore. Frowning is actually harder than smiling, taking our faces away from ourselves. Our faces are the most contagious part about us. Our faces talk, listen, see, smell, taste, feel everything. What do we need? Apples? True TV? Fake? Real world? When did we decide to feign democracy and turn ourselves into a republic? When did we decide that DOE heads and politicians were to be paid a king's wages? Wow. You see, we decided, asking to be represented by false givers, preaching to our desire-driven brains, whispering, this is what you need. The spotlight, the scandal, the White House. What do we need, and when did need become second to want? So you see, we paid for everything willingly. See, I know Alicia Keys is a homewrecker. Yes. I know Jay-Z's having a baby. And I know America's got a war going on in some country I don't know the name of, and I'd rather not know. Our attention has been going unpaid for a while now. We really need to up the payments because our distractions are outweighing our lives.
How prosperous man seems to be, but it is a disease. The earth is plagued by man. It is an injustice. Man from earth takes much more than his due. What recompense is there? No, nature's not worried. Nature's not afraid. She but contemptuously laughs at man. She but thinks, what a poor, petty, presumptuous animal, nothing but a transitory pest. Man, nature will let you have your day. She will let you have your mirth. She will let you ravage her, rape her, raid her bounties, rob her beauty, defile her face, deny her soul. It does not look like much. It is just one choice. It is just one bit, one insignificant bit of data. How can one bit take me into account and represent who I am? A vote does not look like much, but looks can be deceiving. Just look at this cell phone gadget thing. It doesn't look like much, but with it, my voice can be heard around the whole world. I can connect to data, take pictures and videos, and write stuff too.
At night, there's one thing that frightens me a little bit more than being trapped in the drenched sweat of a nightmare that will love to make my mattress a waterbed hosed in by my skin. It's being trapped in a reality that substitutes sleep for an overnight gaze. I have a problem with my eyes. They don't collapse into the back of my head when the moon arrives for its night shift. I've been awake many nights, gazing at my bedroom ceiling. It's the bleakest twinkling star you will ever see. I become a star reader in the dead of the night. When God's voice seems much more audible, I tell him that his seventh day of rest is a leap year in my calendar that I don't even feel included in. In light of recent events, I've come to perceive history as darkness, a pitch-black timeline that is only exposed by light-switch curiosity, those that are eager to know what is concealed in its silent hue. Right now, there are more than a few citizens on Wall Street chanting the light bulbs in their throats, wondering why their country's resource distribution is such a one-sided affair. They are beacons of light, gathered like a chandelier, their sunray voices outbeaming all forces that are trying to make this lighthouse seem like a concentration camp. It has always been this way. Beneath all the boycotts, revolts, protests, and petitions, there's the basic presence of brightly lit voices.
The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. We can't move forward if Wall Street is blocking. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. We can't move forward if Wall Street is blocking. We, countrymen, will not be moved. Asylum seekers by the thousands sailing across the raging womb water of a city that has flushed many vessels from different streams of light into a globalized ghetto. But we paddled through that can of petroleum that lit Mohammed Bouazizi's body into a pile of flint. We paddled through the baby nothings that nibbled on the carcass of his wallet beforehand. We paddled down the rabbit hole to be washed atop this makeshift metropolis, Liberty Plaza. A village of plastic bins, cardboard, sleeping bags, and love, all tied together to the flickering wings of Twitter. Thursdays, he passes by the church and asks for a meal, without speaking. No, says Mrs. Beverly. I'm sorry, mister. You know y'all supposed to come once a month. We got to feed the rest of Jamaica. He droops his head and drags his feet as if he wants to burrow himself in a hole full of shrugs forever. Back when I first strapped on the hairnet, I served him a tray filled to the brim with spaghetti, Parmesan chicken, and 2 freshly baked cookies. Here you go, sir. We ran out of apples that day, so I threw in an extra cookie for good measure. He smiled, but he doesn't do that anymore. Which loan was brave enough to turn him into that walking zygote? How dare I be so selfish? How dare I enter H&M and exit my humanity at the same time? Why does everyone ask these questions?
Do list. Get into college. Then remove your heart from her mouth. Teach yourself how to smile. Take out the trash. Remove your skin from her hands. Remember how to write things down before you forget. And teach yourself the magic of your smile without her. And look up without her in the dictionary. Then reteach yourself the magic of your smile without her. Label your body without her. Remove her from your smile. Remind all your limbs that alone can smell beautiful too. Who are they kidding? Trying to build a ballad-fearing culture out of crickets. Out of the filtered moonlit paths of our brains, we are fooling no one, voting with voice. What about the voices with our votes? Where are the sounds? Where are the movements? Where are the teachers? We be the teachers. We be throwing ballots at 18 when we should be throwing books. We gave all the power to the silence and refused to make the noise. Learn the noise. Bring the noise. Blow the silence off the water. We are kidding no one with our votes. They are as silent as they make us because we got lives the size of their palms. But we be riding on buses and on trains and in parties, but be rowdy where it counts. Be aggressive with the ballad, then be aggressive with the knowledge or the sounds or the movement. Just know what you are doing. Knowledge is cement built. It is sturdy enough for the youth in our voices. Know your voice because we have things to say.
Hey, you see them? Their tags are little black letters on little white cards of paper. My tags running in Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens right now. In every borough, on every line. It's 8 feet high and it's beautiful.
My mind is like an aerosol can and I spray it like graffiti. My mind is like an aerosol can and I spray it like graffiti. My mind is like an aerosol can and I spray it like graffiti. My mind is like an aerosol can and I spray it like graffiti.